Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen, KOLLIN.com, or crackedfemalecode.com, same website. I'm going to do something new today. I got a lot of notes here. Let's see if I got them all. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to talk about something called MGTOW and Jordan Peterson, and I'm going to give a shout out to Joe Rogan. I used to be a fighter. I used to fight for Jacob Stitch Duran for 5 years. He was my cut man and trainer. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, so I'm a dating and relationship coach, and I teach men how to communicate better with women. Now, right off the bat, most men are going, "Oh God, here we go again." But hold on. Remember, now for those of you who've seen my videos, you already know, and for those of you who've read my book, Cracked Female Code, you already know. The female mating system has a nerve that breaks off to her right brain's communication center, and there's a hidden form of communication that actually turns women on sexually and melts her heart and it attracts her to you powerfully. And it makes it really easy to meet women. So let's kind of get the gist. I'm not really going to go over that stuff right now. I'm going to talk more about this whole MGTOW movement, MGTOW. And this is what I want to say to Joe Rogan. I want you to buy my book, or not buy it. I'll give it to you. Just get a hold of me. I'll give it to you. And for you guys too, I'm going to give you a discount too, 50% off for the people who see this video. It's kind of a gift to the MGTOW brothers. It's already on sale right now, so you're going to get 50% off that or any of the packages. This is for books alone, okay? And the passcode is awesome. AWESOME. Go to my website, crackedfemalecode.com or mikecolleen.com, and get the book Cracked Female Code. I really recommend getting the book or the package, the ultimate package, because then you get sex signals, how to read women's, sex signals, and the book Get the Girl, Keep the Girl, the bonus, etc. So you'll see. Go to the website. And again, the code is awesome. Once you upload the books, you go all the way, add to cart and all that stuff. It'll be in the upper right hand corner. Okay, you'll see it. All right, so I'm kind of downshifting. I usually talk fast and really intense. I'm a little bit, how do I say this? Okay, I've had a lot of clients in the last year, maybe a little more, talk to me about MGTOW, and it's like, I really want you to watch the videos because you talk about a lot of issues that impact what's going on with MGTOW. My challenge with MGTOW is this. It sounds like it's this extreme movement of, it's men going on their own, MGTOW, men going their own way. I think that's great. I think it'll make women chase you. It'll make women fight to get you harder. And I think it's going to cause women to be like, whoa, what's going on here? Because a lot of men, especially because of the Me Too movement, are not asking women out. They're not flirting with women. There's just kind of this wall going on. Women are like, what's going on? Why how come guys, did I gain extra weight? And you can see it in their eyes. They're kind of freaking out. So I think what it's going to cause is it's going to cause women, now it's going to be their turn to show up to the plate. Now you're going to have to put your best foot forward. Okay, so whereas men have been, taking these dating courses, these relationship courses for, decades now, and they're really learning how to communicate better, do all this stuff better, how to socialize better, and there has been a huge influx of this going on for over, I would say, 20 plus years now. So where do I start with the MGTOW thing? Okay, so I know there's obviously a wide range levels of people in MGTOW. There's the guys that are like, fuck it, I'm never dating a woman, never talking to a woman, going my own way. And then I think there's those guys that are extreme, but they still and I think these are the guys that are hurt. I've been there, been in 2 long-term relationships, deeply in love. And, when you break up, it hurts. And hurts badly. So then I think there's guys that are kind of, they're looking at MGTOW, they're half foot in, half foot out. I think I'm probably one of those guys, to be quite honest with you, because I love the date. I love dating women. And I will tell you something right now with this whole Me Too movement, I've completely backed off. My clients are calling me going, what do I do? I go, don't date, don't flirt, don't pick up on women. Just take a step back. Let this whole Me Too movement kind of smooth itself out. I think we are, as a society and as a world, going through a transition. Jordan Peterson, he talks a lot about this. I was really kind of surprised because him being a professor, But his background's in clinical psychology, and that's another subject. So I think I think one of the things that has shocked me about this movement, and I'm learning more and more because I'm going to be honest with you, I just started watching these videos about 2 to 3 weeks ago, like really kind of watched some about a year ago. They're just negative, they're just angry, just hurt men. No, I've been there. I mean, my last girlfriend hurt me bad, and I didn't date for 4 years because I was really devastated. And I understand where you're coming from. I also understand the key that guys are not aware of. The pickup artist courses aren't teaching it. The dating relationship courses, men or women, male or female, they're not teaching it. Tony Robbins isn't teaching it. Dr. John Gray, the men are from Mars, women are from Venus guy, his ex-wife, Dr. Barbara Jansen, she's not teaching it either. None of them are. I made a powerful discovery that gives you as a man the edge in a relationship. It makes you that unicorn, that one guy in a million that women are looking for. All right? So basically, I'm going to give it to you. Now, here's the thing. I could talk to a woman in 5 minutes. Shit, boom. I know exactly what you're talking about with a male brain because here's the deal. The female brain is wired so different. I'm going to give you one aspect. Her mating system. That's just one piece, though. There's a multitude of pieces you have to understand. Women communicate in the opposite way. They literally speak a separate language called the hidden internal language. The male brain is the logical processor. It's the external language. So these are two different languages, and then they process in what's called double pictures. What the male brain says A, it means A. That's it. But women say A, not all the time. I'm not going to go into detail, but sometimes they mean something else. They might say this, but they'll be like, well, I didn't mean that. I meant that. Women are shocked and blown away that men don't understand that. They're like, how does he not know? It was obvious. To women, it's obvious. Because her brain is wired to process that way. Now, here's the other piece. Her mating system is in the lower reptilian brain of the lizard brain, and it has a nerve that curves off to her right brain's communication center. So at first I get a lot of guys like, oh, well, I got my master's degree in communication. No. Not logical, linear, external. The male brain's all about, the logical brain's about rules, structure, and organization. So you go and take a math test or an English test, and you cross the T, dot the I's, put the apostrophe in the right place and the comma in the right place. That is not what we're not talking about proper English. That is completely wrong. We're talking about the opposite of proper English. I'm not going to try to explain it right now. It's a hidden language. It takes a lot of hours to explain it to you. So hold on. Wow, something's making me sneeze. All right, so what I do is I give the guys the edge in relationships. Sorry, I'll get some water. I open the window and something, I guess it's pollen season right now. So I give guys the edge in dating relationships. I'm telling you, when you learn how to do this stuff, when you speak what's called the internal, mentally stimulating and emotionally fulfilling language, women are all over you. And I mean, it is easy. So the reason why I bring this up is because I want to meet, man, how do I say this? My whole idea is bringing men and women back together. I think right now in society, we are at a very chaotic time, and the rules are changing fast. And that's why I kind of say, kind of back off from the dating and relationships for a little while. I think this whole Me Too movement's got to work itself. I think a lot of this stuff has to move. The whole MGTOW movement. If you notice, there's a lot of movements colliding right now. Okay, and so we are going to have to go through some changes, rule changes. There's going to be a lot of changes are happening right now. I do think it's like anything else in life. It's like even back in the 70s, in the whole Vietnam War, the hippie movement, all that stuff. And it always does this. It repeats itself. I'm in my late 40s. So it basically, you see these like huge uprisings, regardless of whether it's a Civil War, World War II, Vietnam War. Then there was the whole 70s movement, call it, the flower power, the hippie movement, whatever you want to call it. And then it worked itself out. And then all of a sudden we went into the late 70s and everything got really good. And the 70s was a great time. It really was mid to late 70s. The 80s was pretty fun. And then it started going back up again. And we're at that peak right now. And things are just blowing up. So here's my point. Excuse me. Here's my point. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a male, if you're a female. You do not realize we are literally speaking two different languages. You're like, oh, I took all the courses. Yeah, the courses of bullshit. I talked to another girl, a Filipino girl today, and we talked for an hour and a half, and she's like, I studied all these books. The Dr. John Gray, the Men are from Mars, Women from Venus. I read Tony Robbins stuff, and I went to some seminars and read, from this other doctor. And she goes, this is different. She goes, I've never heard this anywhere. And I hear this from everyone. I had a couple of clients that had their doctorate degrees. A couple of them had their doctorate degrees in psychology. Some of them from Harvard, Berkeley, Stanford. Some of these guys have their master's degree, multiple master's degrees. These are very intelligent people. And every single person. Okay, I'll give you another example. I'm going to give a shout out to Carl G out there in Japan. He's another one. He said today, he goes, your work is different than anyone else's out there. Nobody's teaching this stuff. He goes, how did you put these pieces together? Because this is the thing. I put the pieces of the puzzle together in a way, as that girl said today, she goes, I actually understand what you're saying. You're teaching this in the way that my brain actually understands. I read all these books and it's interesting and I like it, but you're kind of left with a question mark. You're kind of lost. She goes, when you explain it, she goes, it makes sense. And I was like, yes. So I'll tell you right now, take advantage of the 50% off. I'm only going to do it for, we're going into March right now, like March 2nd, 2018. I'm only going to leave it up for a little while. Get the book, Crack the Female Code. And ladies, get the book, Why Men Just Don't Get It. And then the follow-up book, Every Woman's Battle, The Need for Love and Emotional Fulfillment, okay? Go to crackthefemalecode.com. Those books, the book Crack the Female Code, will help men understand what it is that's missing in relationships. Now, here's my point. And how do I say this? There's something women want from men and they're not getting, and it's called emotional fulfillment. And this is your power as a guy. But you gotta stop thinking she thinks like a man. She thinks like a woman. She's wired in the opposite direction for communication, for romance, for love, and seduction. Sexually turning a woman on is not the way a man's turned on. But men say, no, this is the way it is. Because that's the way you are. So you assume and project that's the way she is. And guess what? Women do the other way. Do it with men too. I'll give you an example. The way you turn a woman on sexually, this is really one way to kind of get her stimulated. You play hard to get. I'll give you an example. All right, true life story. It's with my goddaughter. This was when she was a senior in high school, or maybe she was in college. We're out at P.F. Chang's, a Chinese restaurant, and she asked for the soy sauce, and I was like, huh? She goes, can I have the soy sauce? Yeah, sure. And I go to hand it to her, and she reached for it, and right when she reached for it, I went like this, and then I go, okay, here you go. And she reached for it again, and I pulled it away and went like that again. And I go, I want to test it one more time. And I did it again, and she reached for it, and I pulled away again. And she goes, this is fun. Why don't we do this more often? And I was like, because she's known to yell. She was a pretty aggressive person. And I'm like, you like that? She goes, oh, yeah. So I started doing it on all my dates and, even with female friends. And like, oh, this is fun. Now, here's the thing from the male brain. The male brain's direct. You're thinking, that pissed me off. Exactly. Because you're a male. You're not a woman. And that's the whole idea. So here's the thing what women do. So her mating system is wired to play this teasing game, to tease you, right? Because that really turns a woman on sexually, right? So when it comes around to sex, men don't like to be teased. Well, there's a phrase, I'm just going to spit it out, I don't care. It's called cock tease, and that is a very, very bad, very bad, very bad thing. I talked to a woman one time at Starbucks, and she goes, oh yeah, she was about 38. She goes, I learned when I was 32, never, ever, ever tease a guy sexually. They don't like that. They act like you just killed their firstborn child, and they blow the fuck up. And she literally said that. She goes, they do not like that. I was like, yeah. She goes, it doesn't make sense, though. I'm trying to turn them on. I'm trying to seduce them. I'm like, that's the way a woman is seduced. The whole playing hard to get and stuff. Act like you're interested, then you don't. Guys don't like that. Here's the point. For men and women, we're wired differently. We do not speak the same language. I'm telling you, the right brain language is literally, the right brain communicate. The processor is very much like the Apple computer. The left brain's like the IBM computer, the linear external language. The female brain is the internal expansive language. And there's words, guys, that trigger female's mating system, and it turns her on sexually, and she's going to be very drawn to you. And some of them are like solid, grounded, whole, complete, emotionally fulfilling, enter, penetrate, penetration, fulfillment, complete, completion. God, what's another one? I was talking to a girl. Well, let's talk about romance. Most guys think romance is about being proper, about opening doors, pulling out the chair, wearing a nice dress shirt and buttoning it up and being proper, being a good little boy. And I say this to women, I go, men think it's like being a monkey jumping through freaking hoops in order to get sex. And women are like, are you kidding? I'm like, no. Most guys think that's what's romance. Guys, I'm going to tell you what romance is. Romance is a process that leads to XXX rated pornographic communication. And that's the thing that men don't understand. Remember I said a woman will say A but sometimes mean B? If you learn how to do this, it triggers her mating system. She cannot resist it. It makes her go bonkers, okay? So what I'm trying to say, okay, I'll give you an example. A lot of times romance novels will bore men to death. And they're like, I don't get it. They're so boring. Why do women read them? Well, when it talks about how it says this soldier, rushed into the room and it stabbed her with his powerful sword, and it penetrated deeply through her heart, and she gushed blood all over, or something like that. Most guys literally think it means a sword and a soldier in the war, and it stabbed her, and she said, and I died, or something like that. Well, here's the deal: the sword is his penis. The heart is not her heart, it's her vajayjay, okay? And here's the thing, there is an art to this. A lot of guys, oh, you mean double entendres? No, I don't mean double entendres. That's way up here. You want to be down here. It's so subtle. It's so sneaky. It's so smooth. And I don't mean sneaky in a bad way, but I mean a way that triggers her mating system. It's the same cat and mouse game that when you play hard to get, like the way women try to seduce men, but you don't do that. Now here's the thing. Trying to get guys to play this hard to get game with a woman is almost impossible until a woman responds to it for the first time. So that's the reason why I'm kind of laying this all out, is because, guys, if you learn how to stimulate her in this way and give her what's called emotional fulfillment through right brain internal language, meaningful communication, now you have power in your hands. If you don't have this, you are screwed. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how tall you are. I don't give a shit who you are. If you don't learn how to speak this language, there's another thing. You have to understand how to open up to your right brain. There's so much to this. It's not even funny. But there's 3 main pieces, and you do those 3 things, and boom, women come to you. All right? Here's the good thing. It's what they like. It's what they enjoy. And they wonder, well, how come men don't do this? All right? So here's the point. Women are not receiving emotional fulfillment from men. They're not receiving love. Guys are like, oh, I love her all the time. I give her all kinds of things. That's left brain, things. That's the male brain, things, money, bank account. A lot of guys are like, oh, no, it's all about how good looking you are and how tall you are. Well, guess what? That's the male mating system. Your mating system has a nerve that connects to the optic nerves, which connects to your eyes. That's why we look at a woman's body and how pretty she is, because it's visual, right? And when I explain this to women, seriously, I'm like, yeah, his mating system is wired to be attracted to your physical outside body, which women hate, by the way. It's not about my body, it's about my brains. And guys are like, what are you talking about? Because for her it is. Because it attracts a woman to you. Now I'll get to that in a second. The reason why a man's mating system is wired to his eyes through the optic nerve is because he's looking for an attractive female, meaning, is she healthy? Is her hair falling out? Does she have cancer? Are her nails falling off? Are her eyes jaundiced and yellow? Is she so skinny she can't even walk? That's a turn off. But if you're a generally healthy woman, it's a turn on. Here's why. Because the baby is going to be inside the female's womb, right? So it's a healthy physical body, so the baby can grow in a healthy environment. That's why Mother Nature made guys to be attracted to women that have at least healthy bodies. It doesn't mean you got to be in perfect shape. It doesn't mean you got to be skinny or fat or overweight or big butt or whatever. The point being is that you do have to have a level of health because the baby is going to be brought up in there. Hold on one second. Let me do something here. There we go. And so now, why are women looking for communication? Because her mating system's in the same place and the nerve curves off to the right brain. The right brain's communication center. Now, I've had a client that had its master's degree in communication. It's from Stanford or UCLA or something like that. He goes, oh, it's all about communication. You know, I've got my master's degree. I'm like, not proper English. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about non-proper, the vague and abstract, the bigger picture language, which is the female language, not the male, specific and detail. Cross your T's and dot the I's and, make it all proper. That's not what I'm talking about. So what I'm trying to share with you is there's a few key things that when you learn how to do them and you how to understand them and see it, it becomes really clear. It doesn't become another course. Here's what you're supposed to do. No, you're going to see it for yourself. It's like the girl said today. She goes, what you taught me today, I actually understand it and why men are this way and why they don't do this for women. So what I tell women right off the bat is men love and communicate in a way that your brain doesn't understand. And women's like, yeah, I don't understand my husband at all. I'm always like, what does that mean? What does that mean? So that goes to another segment. But for now, I'm trying to say one thing to the MGTOW guys. You're hurt. You're pissed because she hasn't gotten what she wants. So she thinks, okay, fine, revenge. Because here's why. She knows that you're getting what you want out of the relationship. It's called emotional fulfillment. Basically what it means is after you have an orgasm, you open up emotionally and you're like, oh, I feel great. Technically, you've opened up to your right emotional processor and you're just feeling, oh, I feel great. Because you're like, instead of being all stressed, she wants that same feeling that you get after sex. She can't get it from sex. Sex alone to a woman is meaningless. If you don't believe me, talk to any woman and say, hey, if you have sex alone, is that meaningless? They'll say, yeah. Then come back to this and listen to this part. The way a woman has meaningful sex is through the right brain language, through mental stimulation and emotional fulfillment. And that's all done through a hidden right brain communication. You do that, then you have sex, she's going to be mentally, emotionally, and physically satisfied. And that's going to be a happy woman. And that gives you gold in your hand. That gives you money. It gives you relationship currency. Without that, you are absolutely screwed, okay? But with that, all of a sudden, the game changes and it flips everything around. It turns the table. And now women start coming to you. They'll cook and they'll massage again like they did in the beginning of the relationship. Because now they're getting what they want. And that is what this course is about. So now, let's talk about the MGTOW thing. There's a lot of angry men out there because women have ripped your hearts out. I get that. I agree. There's a lot of really pissed off women thinking, oh yeah, I'll screw him. Because she wants this one thing that I teach in my course. Emotional fulfillment. You do that. You'd be amazed at how women suddenly look at you like, oh, wow, this guy's, oh. It's like the girl said today. She goes, it's amazing. She goes, I've been reading these books for years and going to these seminars. I've never met a man who understands it. She goes, no. She goes, at first I thought, oh, you're a dating coach. You're a relationship coach. Oh, yeah. And I said that to her. She goes, honestly, she goes, when you first said that to me, I just thought, oh, God, here's another one of those guys. She goes, but you actually understand us. You understand what we need, and you understand that language, and you understand. I was like, yeah, I do. And the more I talked, she's like, wow, you understand women better than women. And you know what, guys? You will too. So this course is for men and for women. Now, a lot of my clients have been coming to me saying, you've got to look at Jordan Peterson. You've got to listen to what this guy's saying. I'm like, nah, yeah, I never heard of the guy. I didn't know who he was. I didn't give a shit. Because I'm on top of something that no one else is teaching out there, and I'm really into my work. And a client of mine, it's Carl G, by the way. Yeah, he really convinced me. Carl, he's a smart guy, by the way, and he really convinced me. He goes, Mike, give Jordan Peterson a shot. And I started listening to him and what he was saying about all kinds of things, political things, and what's the strife between men and women right now, the movements, the MGTOW movement, and, all that stuff. And smart guy. And hopefully I'll get to meet the guy someday. And the other one was just the whole MGTOW movement in general. So I've been watching the videos. Some of them are funny, laughable. Some of them are painful. And again, it's because men don't understand women at all. And women don't understand men either. I mean, there's a level of it, but there's a level of why don't they do this, okay? So I'm going to make a series of videos about this whole MGTOW movement and what's going on between men and women. And what I want to leave you with, at least in this video, there is hope. God, this is beyond hope. This is the answer, period. There's an answer. That's what I'm trying to say. If you want to start off with my book, Crack the Female Code. This is for guys. For women, get the book, Why Men Just Don't Get It. It's a short book, 58 pages. And then get the follow-up book. And they're really cheap. They're like $11 each. With this 50% off, it's freaking nothing. You get both books for $11. So Crack the Female Code is $60. But it's on sale. I think it's $39 now. And so it's only going to be like less than $20. Guys, it is a thick book. It's a PDF. So it's like 400 plus pages. But it's a fast read. Every client that's bought the book's like, man, the book just pulled me through. At the least, get that book. I promise you, you're going to see things that you've never seen before. You're going to understand things that no one else has ever taught. So, that being said, after this video, I'm going to upload another video. I'm going to call it MGTOW 2. I don't know what I'm going to call these videos. Dating relationships or understanding women or understanding how to love, understand and turn women on or something like that. But a client of mine at Benef, he really says some really great things. He went through a transformation. If you go all the way back about 2 years, we made some videos. He was kind of hyper and excited. And then you see him now, and he has changed massively. This is Mike Collin, KOLLIN.com. Go to that website, same site as crackthefemalecode.com. Use the code AWESOME to get your 50% off on any and all books. Books alone, not events. See you soon.